y azul malagueño. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Computer Love, Part 15.
But the bottom half of the attractiveness of men based on online attractiveness are totally shut out of the market. And as a result, in America, 1 in 3 males under the age of 30 has not had sex in the last 12 months. And the knock-on effect here is that we're producing too many of what is the most dangerous person in the world, and that is a young, broken, alone man. When you hear about mass shooters in the US, you know who they are before you know who they are.
Whoa. Madonna mia. Holy fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. This is mostly a comedy podcast. I do talk about serious subjects, but wow, I watch out for Jeffrey Dahmer then. But ladies, before you eat that delicious human sandwich and end up in a plastic drum, be aware. I just played this clip because it's for entertainment purposes only. Please don't sue. But yeah, no, this is a clip from YouTube. I don't know if you guys have heard of that website. It's Scott Galloway, the real danger, in bold caps, by the way, of dating apps. He has a channel called The Diary of a CEO Clips. So there you go. There's got to be something else you can say that's more enlightening and less frightening, right?
What do you make of dating apps? Well, I think my advice to young people would be to do it all. It's how people meet. It used to be how people mated, if you will, is that it used to be a third work, a third friends, and a third school. Now it's well above 50% online. So the majority of relationships are beginning online for people your age. And it's very efficient. But what happens when technology comes into any sector is it consolidates it. It becomes a winner-take-most market. So whether it's e-commerce, social media, or search engines, once technology comes into it, you have one company that owns 50% of all online retail, 2/3 of all social, and 93% of search. So technology is coming to mating with dating apps. And it's created a winner-take-all or winner-take-most dynamic, which is somewhat unhealthy. And it plays out like something like this. Women are interested in men based on 3 criteria. The first is their ability to signal resources. The second is intelligence, and the third is kindness. It doesn't matter how rich or how smart you are. If you're an asshole or you're not kind, people eventually don't want you as a mate. And unfortunately, online, it's very difficult to signal 2 and 3, so you can signal 1.
Oh, thank God I'm an asshole. Oh, I'm sorry, there's more? Sorry.
And when everyone has access to everyone, women who have a much finer filter for mating, because the downside of sex is so much greater for them if they get pregnant, so they have much finer filter. They end up all being drawn or expressing interest to a much smaller group of individuals. So what the dynamic is, you have 50 men on Tinder, 50 women on Tinder. 46 of the women will express all of their interest to just 4 men, which leaves 46 men vying for the attention of just 4 women. So if you apply the Gini coefficient to online dating, it's got the same Gini coefficient as income inequality in Venezuela. So mating inequality is greater than income inequality in Venezuela.
There you have it, folks. I've never been to Venezuela. I have no idea where it is on a map. The point is, I can't find Yukon on a map either. But no, there's no Yukon territories anymore. It's changed to something else, right? Yeah, so, well, there you go. I can still find Toronto, one of the best cities in the world. It was a few years ago. It's still good, don't get me wrong. It's just, let's just say, it's not only the roads that are under construction. But in this city, yeah, I would sort of agree with what he's saying. It's kind of split in half. For the most part, let's say if you're 20 years old, okay, that was me 21 years ago, okay, and you're starting off, okay, you want to get out there, date, you're done high school. Maybe you're not going to university or college. Where else are you going to meet people, realistically? I mean, you're not going to go, I mean, you will go to a bar or club, I guess, but, have you been to clubs in Toronto? I mean, they're nothing but glorified basements, They, I mean, the pleather couches and, jugs of orange juice and cranberry mixed cocktail, I mean, how many of those can you actually see in your life without getting sick? But yeah, for the most part, people are lazy. And it's cold. It's cold in Canada. A lot of people don't know that. But let's just be honest. For the next like 6 months, I mean, there will be a while, there for, like it's going to be dark at 4:30. It's more scary and, whatever. And people want to stay inside. And what else are they going to do? They're going to go try to find somebody online. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is, I guess, a problem because it's creating less, social networking outside the house. But instead, everyone's just staying inside and just doing their own thing. And again, I'm guilty of that too. I'm not better than you. Trust me. I don't even have hair. But, just be careful. That's all I'm trying to say. This is my 15th one doing this. I didn't think I was going to get past one, but at the end of, oh God, no wonder I'm single. At the end of this, I'm just going to, have like a very, very good story about, a Canadian athlete. But before that, I'd like to tell, some other stories. And that's the whole point of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, if you haven't subscribed, I mean, Jesus, what are you thinking? I mean, what else are you going to do? Again, like once you get rejected online or, ladies in this case, if you, don't find your Ted Bundy, just listen to some stories on my channel, the Malaka podcast. Don't be a Vlaka, support a Malaka. Thank you. Now, enough of selling myself. Let's get to the stories. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've mentioned this numerous times in the past podcasts about, computer love, aka online dating. There's a lot of scams out there. I'm sure there's a lot of, there's probably scams for, women as well, for men. I had someone recently tell me that they were on there just for not even 10 minutes. And a lot of these guys were already asking her for money. Okay. So it's crazy out there. But, again, it's one of those things where I'm just seeing the scam right away. It's just, it's pretty obvious. A lot of people aren't even trying anymore. A lot of people just dribble and shoot. And, at this point, if it hits the rim, they consider that a victory. But this one person here, or and I use the term person loosely because I'm looking at this picture right now. Gorgeous blonde, almost, it's, I feel like I'm watching Wolf of Wall Street here. But again, it's very, her face looks like porcelain. Let's just be honest. I mean, so this doesn't look real at all. And the one thing I like is that, they give, like captions like, oh, I'd like to do this in the future, blah, 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 whatever. So one of them is, I'd love if my partner, and she put, appreciates bug boobs. So, again, it's like proofreading is very important. Okay, so she's trying to say appreciates big boobs. Listen, I do too. I mean, this almost, seems like a match. Like I've never had to match this quick. But again, it reeks of fakeness. Sometimes you just look at a profile and you're just like, yeah, this is not for me. So, just watch out for that. Then there's another one here. Again, this is going to sound racist. I don't care at this point. I'm in my 40s. I'm not saying I've earned it, but it's fuck off. So, this person seems to be an Oriental descent. For some reason, has the exact same eyebrows as me. Kind of like a Martin Scorsese thing going here. she's smelling a rose. You know, that's supposed to be a turn on, or I don't know, like supposed to be exotic, or I don't know. And then again, she says, "I love if my partner," and she just puts in quotations, "tall." So, I mean, you're, Chinese or whatever. I'm sure everyone's going to be taller than you anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. But again, the last two profiles, there's nothing in there that indicates like any realness. I mean, there's nothing there. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what am I supposed to do with this? Just message the person, hope for the best? No, like there's no point. So fuck off. You just move on. And then there's another person here I was just talking to for a little bit, and this is how weird it gets online. Okay, for from the woman's side. Okay. She said, a few weeks ago, I was propositioned to be an older gentleman's sex slave. So that's how it's going for me. He was very nice about it, though. I mean, like how insulting is this? But she seems to have a very, very nice attitude about it. Yeah, he basically called me a hooker, but like he was nice about it. I mean, I guess his grammar was better than people I talk to. But yeah, I mean, but this is the patience that a lot of people, I guess, especially women, have to have while you're online. So I don't know. I mean, that could be a scam. It could be a prince from Dubai. Like we don't know. We don't know. We'll never know. Yeah. And then there's another person here. Again, it smells like a scam, but you know what? I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of times I just keep going with it. I don't care at this point. I'm like, worst case scenario. It's another, bullshit story for my 13 subscribers. I got to get that to 1,000 guys in the next year. Okay. Help a brother out. Will you? Okay. I might have, I don't have any kids. I might have one in Scarborough. I don't know. I met her online. It's a whole thing, whatever. The point is, so this one person, and we're just going back and forth here. I go, hi. She goes, hello. I go, how are you? Good. How's your morning? And like she didn't hear anything, like I guess right away. So I guess again, it smells like a scam already because it just seems like I don't know. It's like I'm talking to AI or something. So she goes, hi, and I go, hi. She says, hi. I go, hi, and she goes again, how are you? Hi, I'm good. How are you? Good. I say good. I also say, how are you? Okay. And keep in mind, this goes on for a good, like 5-10 minutes, just back and forth, back and forth. I mean, this is why people got sick of ping pong. Just the Atari version, not the real one. The real one's fucking awesome. But yeah, that's it. I don't know if this person's fucking with me. I don't know if there's a language barrier here. I don't know, but fuck it. And then there's another person here. Again, she says, on my first date, I'd like to, in quotations, she puts fuck. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to judge anybody. If that's what you like to do on the first date, fine. Have I done on the first date? Of course. Why not? Nothing good on TV or online, or you're sick of Netflix and then just get right to the chill. Why not? But again, it could be a fake profile. Again, she looks Chinese. Again, I don't know if there's a theme here. Again, not trying to sound racist, but get ready for it. It's almost gone to a point where if I personally see, I don't know, guys, you can help me out here. Maybe women too. It's probably more guys because I don't know, for some reason, like people think people have an Asian fetish or something. Because it's not what most Canadians look like, or the stereotype, whatever. But it's getting to a point where I'm seeing Chinese women, and I just assume all these profiles are fake. I don't know. I mean. I don't know. So if that's true, which hopefully it's not, but again, you never know. But this is how much, like how many of these you see where, it's like the guy I was talking about before. You see, all this shit. It gets repetitive, and you kind of get used to it, and it's not good. And I don't know if he said that, but I'm just throwing that in there. But the point is, just again, beware. That's all. Like in their profile, if they say fuck, and if they say what time do you want to meet now? Just be aware. That's all. So there's one person, again, and again, like, has this ever happened to you guys where, like, you look for someone online and you say local, but, like, it gives you someone in another country? Why does it do that? I don't understand. Like, is there a limit, or, or they want you to waste gas money? Like, what is it? I don't know, fucking car. So, which leads me to my next person here. So I'm just talking to her back and forth, and she lives in a certain place in Ontario, and this place is more known for crackheads, and I had no idea, because I don't know, I don't do crack. I enjoy eating very much. Greek and Italian. It's good food. And she says, like, have you been living under a rock? Like, I don't mean to be offensive. But yeah, Toronto has crackheads, and she's referring to, like, everywhere you go has crackheads. So I'm like, okay, wow, this is very shocking to me. Of course, I'm being sarcastic here, folks. Like I said, Toronto has kind of gone downhill here. I'll just say this, like, if you're in the Toronto area, and if you're at the intersection of Broadview and Danforth, there's a certain bank there, and you go on the side of the bank, and you will see I don't know if it's some kind of fort this person's building, but this, homeless person has been there for 8-9 months. And again, I'm not judging or whatever, but at the same time, it's literally attached to the building. So, I understand how people get away with that, but again, it's not a good look for, my beloved Toronto. But anyways, I'm like, yeah, I didn't know. I just live a normal life, and she's like, LMAOOO, just laughing away. She's like, anyways, enough about crackheads. I agree, and I don't know. I just I wasn't really meshing well, and she went off on me and said, "Hey, you don't even have a car," And I'm like, listen, just smoke some crack, and I don't know. You can imagine I do have one. So this person here, I tend to wear cool shirts, or I like to think, they're cool. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I like your Ron Swanson shirt. It's great." Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know who Ron Swanson is, he is played by an awesome dude named Nick Offerman. And I didn't watch Parks and Recreation, but I'm pretty sure I watched every single scene that Nick Offerman, aka Ron Swanson, was in on YouTube. And that's the greatest thing about watching TV these days. You don't even have to be a fan of the actual show and watch it. You can just watch random clips online. For example,
my name is Ron Swanson. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the miserable, screwed up world of local government.
You have mustard in your mustache.
Don't sass me, Burkus. Let's get started.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie. This man hates Canadians, but at the same time, I still fucking love him.
It's Dear Canada, you.
Dear USA. Gun control. Use it. Well, enough about the ongoing problem in the United States, and Trump will be president very soon again. She said, P.S. I don't mind if you do voice messages, but I hate doing them. I'm non-binary, and my voice gives me the ick. Smiley face with like all the teeth showing, but it's sort of like one of those faces where it's like, like that. And then I just give a a thumbs up, and I didn't speak to her again. So again, I don't know, I know what that means, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, man. I just, you just never know. I'm non-used to this shit, so let's move on. So again, ladies and gentlemen, lots of fake profiles out there. Some of them are, they kind of are good at what they're doing, but you eventually find out. But then some of them, again, they just don't give two flying fucks. So I know this is an audio podcast, but I'm going to do my best to describe this picture. Okay, so I'm not going to lie to you. This is one of the fakest pictures I've ever seen in my life, period. Okay, so you know how like you see someone and you can clearly tell they were like cut out, and then literally just pasted on there. That's what this person is. So picture, she's thin, white, brown hair, decent size eyes. And, she looks good, okay? But then behind her seems to be just, all this grass, there's like, kind of like grass, road, grass, lots of trees. And in the background, I'm almost positive. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, because I am half Greek, but I'm almost positive this is the Acropolis. And they even added like a few extra things on top, a few extra statues. They matched the trees, so you gotta give them credit on that one. But this is just like it's almost like she took a picture, like maybe at a university, but then just decided to add some Greek mythology in the background. It's so fucking bad. I mean, like they didn't even try, and this is like the only picture, so. Again, you gotta, I tell people all the time, okay? Like I don't lie, bullshit. But, if you're gonna lie, if you don't believe the lie, no one else is. So, again, thanks for the laugh, though. I appreciate it, but I mean, try harder, Like this person here, she seemed okay, I guess. And she puts, I love if my partner cuddles, small dates, and appreciate what I give you. Well, that's cool. Okay, then it sounds all right so far. And then she says, if you're over 40, I'm looking for a sugar daddy. First off, again, and I'm going to definitely get some shit for saying this, but ladies and gentlemen, more ladies at this point. If you're looking for a sugar daddy, okay? Now, a lot of you who got your head up your ass, you know what a sugar daddy is. Basically, if you go out with someone and they take care of you, they pay for everything, rent, whatever. All you got to do is, open your mouth between periods. That's all. And just that's it. That's all you have to do. Your parents failed you. And that's it. But again, you have to look the part. Okay, so this woman, I mean, she's okay looking. Again, if you're gonna sell yourself as, or if you want a sugar daddy, I would actually buy a belt and not use, sweatpants, or if you are, like, show the white rope, because it shows really like a lot on I don't know, the sweatpants or sweat skirt that you're wearing. Also, wearing a pleather shirt, that's not gonna, it's I mean, the cleavage is there, but it's it's not sugar daddy standards, if you know what I mean. And again, I don't know, she's kind of, got the whole lemon face going there, phone in front of the mirror. Yeah, that's original. So, pretty white background, nothing there. Seems to be a painted picture of a blue flower, maybe. I don't know, maybe it's a bird. It's lost its way, like this person. But the point is, gym memberships are very important, to certain people. And again, if you're going to live this lifestyle, you have to look the part. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Like if I was the equivalent of a woman, I would. I'd be probably screwed. But again, I don't. I'm not saying a sugar to get a sugar daddy. For a woman, you have to have a six pack, but you should look the part. That's all. I don't know. Maybe dry your hair, or I don't know. You got brown, blonde. Pick a color. But yeah, the point is just listen. Some people just fail in life. There's not much you can do. I mean, they see people doing it on the internet and they think they can do it, and they can't. It's not good. So again, you really look at, instead of taking pictures in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror and think like, what do I got to do to improve myself, in and out, before, I end up, offering people money for half and half. Okay. So another person. Oh boy, just keeps going, eh? It says, when I'm with my partner, I enjoy a connection. You sail by the first kiss in how the kids going in some into me a kiss seal. Well, she put a winky face and a heart. I'm sorry, I forgot to, because now it makes sense. Can anybody tell me, please, what this means? I have no idea if this is a good thing, a bad thing. I don't know. This one is more clear, for sure. She said, I'd love if my partner, and in quotations, she put queef. So I've learned two things today. One, I finally know how to spell queef. I wasn't sure if it was like E-A or E-E. It's E-E, just, if you guys are keeping score here. And two, there's no hope anymore. There's nothing. I don't know. I mean, what did the guy say before? 50% of people have to or go online, and so 50% of us are screwed. Okay. Okay. So here's a woman here. So again, this is a perfect example of someone who's clearly not ready for online dating, possibly not ready for society. But just let me, I get a little conversation here going here. And then at one point, I ask her, let's text whatever. She texts me, Then I see an area code. I see an area code that is clearly not Canadian. Or maybe it is, I don't know, but I had to double check it. And of course, it's in a different country. Oh, surprise, surprise. And then she tells me this whole story, how she used to live in Canada and she went down to the States for her ex. The ex died. I'm not sure how he died. It might have been military. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one, but it was something. And I felt bad, So, but then in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't know, man. Again, scam. But then she sends she only has pictures, sends pictures of just her face. And ladies and gentlemen, I've said this once. I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it 2 million times in the future, probably. Have a whole body picture or somewhat of a body picture. Okay, this isn't Futurama. You just don't have a head. You gotta take a picture, and I get it. I'm chubby too. I got a little fat on me too. I got a little fat here, a little fat here, a little fat everywhere. But I take good pictures. It's like this is who I am. If I told you I'm Tom Segura's brother, you would believe me. That's who you see in the picture. That's it. So, it's that simple. So I'm like, send me a picture, and she writes me back here. She says, and she wrote a shit ton here because even afterwards I said, holy novel, Batman. I mean, this is, again, we got to keep the texts short, or send a voice note so I don't have to read, because who likes reading? I mean, People still go to libraries apparently. I don't know, in Toronto, the libraries got hacked or something, and because we all know, like, how much money is in a library. So she said, so regarding the full body picture, I will park and send it to you, but I wanted to warn you first verbally. I am not happy with the lower half of my body. Okay, so, that's okay. Things happen. It is what it is. And then she said, I had 2 C-sections when I had my kids. The first one ended up in a very nasty infection where I was readmitted to the hospital for almost a week and a half, and it caused some extra damage to my belly. So it's bigger, and I have a mass on the one side that causes me a lot of pain and discomfort. I am, however, seeing a surgeon on Friday to hopefully schedule a corrective surgery for it. And so I'm honest with everybody about that, because ideally I would like someone or somebody who's going to accept me before and accept me after. So there you have it. Okay? Holy novel, Batman. And she said, just being honest. So I respect this. I really do, But at the same time, it's a lot to handle for someone that you've never met before. And let's just keep it real. Again, I'm going to get some shit for this, but if you really were comfortable with your body and the way it is, you would present a picture right off the bat. And let's be honest, if you don't respect yourself, okay, you're not going to respect others. And I get it, Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what a C-section is, it's when you have to have a baby like prematurely, so you got to like cut open the stomach. So, yeah, I don't know if, Stewie from Family Guy can explain it better.
Ugh, it's like going to a strip club on a Tuesday afternoon. Is there anyone here who hasn't had a C-section?
So all I'm saying is, I mean, she was not a stripper for sure. Maybe in a past life or many, many years ago. Who knows? But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, it's not an easy thing to go through. And I don't know. Like again, it's like you can put this paragraph in, your bio. I mean, you could, but it's a lot to handle. So, it's pretty crazy, but like in my head, I'm just like, fuck, like how do I get out of this? And listen, we've all lied here, like I say I don't lie, but I might lie. That's sort of a lie, but not really, but I lie. The point is, so I'm just, busy doing my errands and whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll talk to you later. Cause I don't like to be on the go and talk and whatever. I like to, pick up all my messages later for the most part. If I'm out doing errands and shit, there's no reception on the beautiful TTC. I mean, there is, but I don't know. It's I don't. It's not very good. Point is, like she messaged me. She's like, I get you're at work. LOL. I'm not looking for immediate answers here. I'm a very patient person. I have 2 kids. Remember, do I have any other choice? Answer ... No. So and then she, I don't know. She seems a little, I don't know, sporadic with her answers, and a little neurotic when it comes to like waiting and shit. And then she's just talking, and then at one point she just goes, "Hey, I just don't. This is a fit for me, a good fit for me." I think that's what she's trying to say. It was nice chatting with you, though. Good luck in your dating request. And I was just like, holy fuck, thank God. Okay, so she, did her thing, and that's it. And I even told her, I was like, listen, thank God, because I don't appreciate you lying in your profile and all that. And like, she didn't respond either, so I'm like, okay, that's it, good. I'm out. So sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you're lucky and you're able to dodge a bullet. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you talk to someone and it is, it's definitely a story that, could be on 2020 one day. So I was talking to this one woman here, and let me just start off by saying this. Okay, this story may or may not be true. Those opinions of the Malaka YouTube channel are those of the participants, and do not necessarily reflect those of me. And this may or may not happen. Full disclosure. So I got nothing to do with this. I'm just telling you what she told me. I don't know. I don't want to get sued. Blah blah blah. There you go. So not my fault. That'll cover it. So, ladies and gentlemen, how many people know who Ben Johnson is? Okay, so let's go to Wikipedia, because a lot of people may not know who Ben Johnson is. So let's just get started here. Okay, so you go on Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. It's free, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time for jokes today. So Ben Johnson, Canadian sprinter. Okay, so Benjamin Sinclair Johnson, born December 30th, 1961, is a Canadian former sprinter. During the 1987-88 season, he held the title of the world's fastest man, breaking both the 100-meter and the 60-meter indoor world records. He won the 100 meters at the 1987 World Championships in athletics and at the 1988 Summer Olympics, but was disqualified for doping and stripped of the gold medal. And later, he almost lost most of his other medals he had achieved while being doped with antibiotic steroids since 1981 until caught the first time in 1988. He was the first man who beat 9.9 Rome 1987 and 9.8 seconds Seoul, which is spelled S-E-O-U. I think I said that right, or Soleil, or so, I don't know. In 1988. He won the 2 bronze medals at the 1984 Summer Olympics, as well as gold medals at the 1985 World Indoor Championships, 1986 Goodwill Games, and 1986 Commonwealth Games. He was trained by Charlie Francis. So there you go. I mean, guys, when this happened in Canada, I mean, it was a proud moment for a few seconds. Then all of a sudden we found out the guy took steroids. Now, I'll never understand why Olympians take steroids. Eventually, you will get caught, okay? It's like years ago with the whole baseball thing, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, which, if you could believe it or not, if you literally Google Sammy Sosa pictures, he looks whiter than me. It is fucking crazy. But holy fuck. The point is, it was a great one, and then all of a sudden he just got caught. So I don't know why these guys do it. They're eventually going to get caught, and that's it. So yeah, obviously it was not a good look for the country, and I was able to talk to someone who ended up going out for a little bit with Mr. Ben Johnson. Now, I know probably right off the bat you're wondering, was she black? Absolutely. What's even weirder is that, I mean, this woman is constantly busy. Now, nowadays, she's probably give or take like 50, something like that, I'm just saying, but she's black, so she probably looks like, 22. And I just, I wanted to give her a call. She never picks up her phone. She's always busy doing something. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know. I don't judge. I don't know. It's up to her. Okay. You do what you got to do, make that money. And, but she always would respond late at night. I'm talking late. We're talking 11, 12, 1, all this shit. So, but, she would respond with a voice note. I use voice notes too, because it's just faster, whatever, right? So at the same time, I'm calling, but one time I decided, let me call her in the afternoon. Call her in the afternoon, or like whatever, evening, whatever, 5, 6, whatever. Give her a call. And as I'm leaving the message, I think she called me, and then she left me a message. Then as I'm listening to that message, I hear a beep, 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 which means it's my lucky day. She's actually calling me early. Wah, wah, wee, wah. And I'm like, okay, let me pick up the phone. But the problem is, on my phone, it says unknown number. Now, I don't like picking up unknown numbers because, telemarketers and whole bunch of weird shit. You just never know. It's like, why is someone calling you unknown number? It's fucking weird, right? But I decided, pick it up, whatever, So then I pick it up, and instead of saying hello like a normal person, I decided to have some fun with her. Now, I forgot to say that she has called me in the past unknown. I didn't pick it up. So she did tell me, like, if someone calls, it could be me, or someone, wanted to clean your chimney for $60 an hour. Who knows? But do people still do that? Or I don't know. I guess up north at a cottage or something. I don't know, for Santa. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, this is probably her. So I go to the phone call and I say something like, hello and welcome to private conversation. If you're not a stalker, please press 1. Beep. So in my head, I'm like, so far so good. Please press 2 if you're a black woman. Beep. Now, right after she laughed a bit, she was like, Now, I tell this to guys all the time, okay? If you don't have money, you got to at least make her laugh, okay? That's a worst case scenario. But anyways, please press 3 if you can cook, but the spices don't take over the flavor. Fuck. And then she starts laughing, and it's all good, okay? We talk for a little bit there. She... seems like a pretty cool person. I get her humor. She gets my racism. She tells me, she doesn't use that much pepper, which is nice. And then we have a playful fight about, you should have put my number in, your phone there so you can recognize the number and you can actually pick it up. Just put me as random white guy, whatever. The point is, we were getting along swimmingly. And all of a sudden, I said something. And I swear to God, she goes, la, 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 la. I was like, holy fuck. Is this Faith Evans? And yeah, she had a really good voice. I mean, a really powerful voice. I'm saying more jokes, and she's like, oh my God, this is the weirdest, greatest conversation I'm having ever. And I'm like, well, I mean, if you listen to the rest of my podcast, it's gotten way weirder. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, she sounds like really good. I made the Faith Evans reference before, and and then I made a joke saying, well, she dug, big fat guys too. So, Biggie baby. I'm like, I'm in. And we start talking some more, and she's like, I just want you to know that I get a good vibe when I talk to people, and I just want you to know, right off the bat, I'm a little crazy, but I'm just admitting that right off the bat, and then of course I'm an idiot, and I said, yeah, that means you're a black older woman. What does that mean? It just means that you're, I don't know, you're probably crazy. I'm kidding. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm just kidding around. Don't worry. I'm getting like a 50 Cent, a Vivica A. Fox kind of vibe, years later. Well, I also went out with Ben Johnson. What? And I'm just like, no fucking way. You serious? Yeah, I went out with him. Were you the one that sold him the steroids? Yeah, I knew it. No, listen, she was kidding. I was kidding. I'm just testing the waters at this point. But at the same time, I'm still like, holy shit, this is crazy. So, and believe you me, we're just getting started. So, just talking to her, shooting the shit, whatever. And then I'm just making some jokes, whatever. And then she says, shut your mouth for a minute. I go, whoa, easy. Again, more proof you're a black woman. You're telling a white guy to shut up. I feel like a Jonas brother. So she tells me she's in an open relationship. Can you deal with that? Wait, you're in an open relationship with Ben Johnson? No, 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 no. There's another guy. I've moved on from that. So then she says, I have a roommate, but that's the guy I'm going out with. So I say, okay, so let me just gather this so far. You're living with a guy, you're in an open relationship, that's the guy you have an open relationship with, but you just consider him a roommate, correct? Correct. And then she's telling me about common law and all this shit, and I gotta be honest with you, like I know a woman too that, and it's gonna sound bad, but she's also a black woman, and she's also has a roommate that is also a black guy. And again, I'm starting to think this is like a black thing. I don't know. I mean, leave your comments in the section below. But I don't know, help a white boy out here. But anyways, and it was funny too because like I remember one time I went to her house, we were partying there, and like the guy was just in like his bedroom by himself there. But then it was so awkward because I didn't feel like going all the way downstairs to have a cigarette. So for some reason you can smoke in his bedroom, but he was just at his computer, I don't know, doing his thing, and I'm smoking out the window. Like it's awkward. He's there, and da 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 da. You know, like I wasn't going out with her or nothing. I'm just saying, like it was just the whole thing was weird. And I remember weeks later, like I saw them together outside shopping together, and I mean, like, are they going out or what the fuck is going on? So like again, I'm having like, yeah, I'm just thinking of this while she's telling me all this. I'm just like, holy fuck, this is it's a new world, man. But anyways, so she tells me that she's not having sex with him. Okay, so the guy's just there. And then she tells me it's her house, but the guy's just there. Okay, so again, they're not married. They're in an open relationship, but they're not technically going out, or are they having sex? So again, ladies and gentlemen, it tells you how much rent costs in Toronto if people are actually, pulling this shit off. Now, at this point, I made a joke saying that, this is why you shouldn't date Ben Johnson, because, like, you're just going to be lost in love and fucked up later on. But I'm kidding. I'm there. Listen, again, I don't know if this story is true or not. I don't want to get sued. Who the fuck knows? Mr. Johnson. That's funny. Anyways, yeah, I have no idea. I'm just an entertainer. So, but anyways. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I told her, look, you're living with a guy, you're seeking other guys, you're in an open relationship, you're not having sex, and yet the irony is nothing is opening. So, it's, this is fucking crazy. So I had to go back to Ben Johnson here and keep the conversation normal. So I'm asking her, so you saw Ben Johnson, like when did you go out with him? And she said she went out with him just before the 1988 Olympics. And just before that, she said, he used to get me into clubs. So I'm thinking to myself, like, how young was she? And then, she says, no. You know what? It had to be 85, 86 because I eloped in 87. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, she can't even, like, she doesn't even know. I mean, this is crazy. And obviously at one point they broke up, and but I said, like, do you still keep in touch with him? And she said, oh, I saw him like about a year ago, and But she did say she did talk to him about doing some speeches for her. She also said that her sister ran into her yesterday. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's good to have a backup plan, I guess. But she did say that she met him through other people in his family, so that's how they met. I'm pretty sure that's what she said. And at this point, like, I just had to ask her. I mean, I just told her straight up. I said, listen, let's get this out of the way. I mean, did you know about him shooting up? Were you there when he did it? Or she said no, but she said back in that time, she was a smoker, just smoking cigarettes. And every time that they were together, he would always bum cigarettes off her. And, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, when you buy a pack of cigarettes, especially for today, which if someone asks you for a cigarette, I mean, you're basically, I think David Tell said this, who's one of the funniest comedians of all time. The guy's awesome. And, he does smoke like a chimney. But at the same time, he says, yeah, like when you give someone a cigarette, it's basically you're giving them a dollar. I mean, it's fucking crazy. So I could even hear it in her voice. Like she was getting a little frustrated at that. But at the same time, she kept thinking to herself, like, and she kept saying, at that point, I was so into Olympians. And I was like, why are you doing this to yourself? So she's kind of like saying like, and it kind of threw me off too, because, he's a runner and, they, have to control their breathing and all that shit. So like, why would you be a smoker? And he would always bum cigarettes off her. And it was like a heavy brand of cigarettes, right? And like she was just kind of like confused by that. She actually said, you can't be that pure and smoke and run like the wind, I thought that was good. So what have we gathered so far? That Ben Johnson cheated, and not only that, which might even be worse, especially if you're a smoker and you understand this. He never bought a pack of cigarettes. He always bummed off other people, which is listen. I hate you fuckers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, like I'll buy a pack of cigarettes. It'll last me. Yeah, man, it could last me a fucking month sometimes, because I smoke more when I drink, and I don't know, I don't drink as much anymore, and I have a cigarette here and there, but I mean, fuck, man, like, buy a pack of cigarettes. I mean, you're Ben Johnson. Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, I mean, you listen, let's be honest, you can afford other shit, okay? So, I think buying a few cigarettes is, it's not that bad. So then I asked her, like, how long did you actually go out with him for? And she's like, maybe under a year. Okay, cool. And then I asked her, like, how'd you guys meet? And she said it was just like through friends, like she was good friends with a guy, or, and then I think he knew him, and they all just met together, and that's it. Now, at this point, I don't think she can even keep track of who she's going out with, because I think at one point she did say that, yeah, I was, or I don't know, maybe she was going out, like she had a male friend, maybe they were going out or something, and then, I don't know, then she referred to him as like the ex-boyfriend, and I can't keep fucking track here. But and then she said at one point, they were all together, they were playing dominoes, and like he was sitting like right across from her, and like she didn't even know who he was, and she leans over to her friend or ex, or I don't know, whoever the black guy is. She goes, who's that guy with the Canadian jacket? And he goes, well, that's Ben Johnson. The Canadian jacket. I love it, man. Like, I'm not making fun of it. I think that's cool. Like, he's wearing the Canadian jacket. Why not? I mean, he's, that's cool. And the guy says, well, he's an Olympian. Really? From Canada? Yeah, like, Canadian jacket, Olympian. Olympian from Canada. Yeah, kind of 1 + 1 = 2. Forget it. And then the friend says, yeah, like he's a bronze medalist, and yeah, she says, yeah, at the time he was. And I was just curious, like, what kind of Canadian jacket was it? Like, did it have a Canadian flag on it? Was it like a special jacket or whatever? And, she's like, oh, you're, I feel like I'm being interviewed. Oh, you're very good. Oh, you are very good.
You're very good, No, you are very good.
There's a lot more to it than that.
You're very good,
There are underlying things that you
understand me?
don't.
No, you're right. You're right on the money. I can feel the juices rushing back to my balls as we speak.
That's how it's done. So, she told me at one point, I still keep breaking her balls about the unknown, thing. That's what you do, and you're a guy, you got to use any, weaponry you can with women, and, bring up old shit. That's what women do. So, when you do it back to them, it confuses them. So she told me the reason why she has an unknown number is because she used to be stalked by a guy when she was in a singing group. I mentioned before, she's got pipes like Patti LaBelle. And she's telling me at this point, like, I mean, this guy was really scary. Like, he would find out, like, where she was performing, and this guy would just pop out of fucking nowhere. So I don't know, like, on top of everything she's going through, she's got to deal with Ike Turner. And at this point, I had to make a joke. So I said, we went from, you stalking Ben Johnson and someone is now stalking you. Yeah, that's it. But she knew I was joking. So then I asked her, like, what broke it off? Like, why'd you break up with, Ben Johnson? And she said, his head got too big. So then I asked her, like, do you think he cheated on you or, whatever? And she's like, I don't know. I don't think he did, or like he didn't, or she didn't know anything, whatever, like what he did. So, and yeah, she just wasn't sure, because she was about to go to university. I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, going back to the age question again. Like, I was like, wait a minute, like, how old were you? And she said, I was about, 17, 18 when I was dating him. So I was like, how old was he? And she said, like, he was about 4 years older. So I was like, oh. And again, she said, yeah, he would always get her in the clubs. And she even said, like, after they stopped dating, he would still get her in the clubs. And I said, you got any, good stories or whatever? Like, was it a good time? And she just said that he hated taking public transportation. And it looks like I have one thing in common with Ben Johnson. And yeah, like he bought like a Trans Am, and it was like brand new, and like he just had to like he had to drive it. Like he just always came by in that. Nothing really crazy to tell. Sorry. I was like, hey, that's all right. Still, that she lived or like he lived close to her family there, and now he lives like I think closer to her now. And I asked her, like, do you guys still keep in touch? And she's like, no, if I see him, we kind of shoot the shit. But other than that, that's it. But she did say after she got separated from her ex, he would come by the house sometimes. But apparently this was a while ago. This is like, I don't know, like 15 years after, or like whatever. And I make a joke before about, like, if we go out and I come see you at your house, am I going to be, someone to come in there and beat the shit out of me, and she said, oh, don't worry, like if Ben shows up, he won't do anything. I'm like, yeah, fuck, I'm not gonna be scared. I'm just gonna ask for an autograph. So she had a good laugh there, and then she's like, you sound like somebody I know. You sound so familiar. And I go, like, who? I mean, I sometimes back in the day, someone thought I sounded like Rush Limbaugh, but Limbaugh, whatever the fuck his name is. Ladies and gentlemen, I love Oxycontin. But that wasn't it. It was somebody else. And she said, I sounded like Sid from Breakfast Television. Now, for those of you who, don't have the privilege to, or can actually afford to live in Toronto, God only knows how I do. There's a funny guy named Sid. He's on Breakfast Television. He used to be on Sportsnet there. The irony is, I look more like his bald buddy from back in the day. But I don't know. Like, do I sound like this?
I had multiple people reach out to me and said, if John Schneider and Atkins are still a part of this team, you're not going to see me at Rogers Center next season. Trust has been broken. At some point, common sense left the room with this organization. It can come back. It can come back. But common sense left. And there's a large section of the fan base that doesn't believe in what's going on here. I know some really important people in this company who have been kind enough daily to join us on Breakfast Television. We have a very privileged platform here. I am a black and white person. I would have a field day here. I would go down to the dugout, take all the tablets, the tablets that they all look at? I do. Put over my right knee and snap each and every one of them. We got to take a different tact here. You can get it back, but that was a bad moment yesterday, and Jay fans need trust returned to the organization.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe, possibly. I mean, he's got more hair, way more hair. But we're both black and white. Say what's on our minds here. Both very direct. We both agree that the Jays keep fucking up here. He was talking about how the Jays, screwed up the recent series here. Why the fuck did we took out the pitcher in the third inning, right? Like, what the fuck? And then last year, I don't know, 3 people crashed into each other trying to get a fly ball, which I played baseball for years. I mentioned this before. I don't know how the fuck that keeps happening in baseball. Someone yells out, I got it. And then the other person gets it. So, yeah, we're a fucking, I don't know, between this and the fucking Leafs, we got to get our fucking shit together. But, yeah, I can see that. It's ironic, too, because sometimes he's sitting next to a black woman. So the point is, ladies and gentlemen, so far I think she digs me. And me and Ben Johnson, you know, it's fucking apples and oranges. Like even now he's in better shape than I am, you know, and he did roids. So, you know, it's that's a good sign. I mean, it's like Chris Rock said, like black women are not attracted to, you know, white men. I mean, they'll fuck a David Beckham or a Brad Pitt, whatever. But you know, a fat mold of clay like me, I can't fucking do shit. So, you know, if a black woman is really into you, you know, one, consider it a miracle, and two, that's pretty awesome. So at this point, like I you know, I asked her, like, did Ben Johnson have a big dick? You know, I just had to know. And then she says, I don't know what that means. And, you know, in my head, I'm like, you know what the fuck it means. But then again, you know, like I made a joke saying, oh, yeah, you're black. I forgot. So let me put in terms you can understand. Bigger or less than 10? You know, she's still thinking about it. And I go, okay, again, let's just say this. Is there a reason why he's such a fast runner? 3 legs. Pretty averagely big for a black guy. So like 9, 10. I don't know. I'm just curious. You know, I'm just, you know, hey, did your stomach hurt when you fucked? And then at one point we're joking around, and then she said, maybe I gagged. And then I asked her, like, did you guys use a condom? She goes, of course. I'm like, come on, really? Like every time, you know, you fucked, you say, yeah, you used a condom. I'm like, come on. And then she goes, no, and I'll tell you why. Because he wanted me to get pregnant, but I wanted to go to university.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's, holy fuck. Yeah, so at this point, keep in mind, you know, she's 17, 18, barely legal. And, you know, you said that it was like near the end of the relationship. And this is when she, you know, knew it was pretty much like over, you know, because she just didn't want to have a kid. She didn't even know that he was thinking that. She also said that he really liked her hair. And she's like, you know, oh, yeah, it was really, you know, long. And I was like, it was real? And she's like, yeah, you know, like, you know, I also have like, you know, like Indian white in me, you know, and I'm like, okay, that explains the attitude. I'm kidding. And I told her I was kidding. And she's like, what? I'm just kidding. She's like, okay, you know, whatever. She gets my humor. She's just breaking balls. I'm breaking balls. This is good. This is how, you know, Victor Moan got the Lola Falana. What a reference. But I asked her, like, do you have any regrets breaking up with him? And she said, no, not at all. And I said, just out of curiosity, have you been out with anyone else famous? And she said, I'm not going to say. And then she said, no, I haven't. And, you know, and then I go back to the whole, you know, singing thing. Like she was in a group. But, you know, hey, you know, whatever. But, she said she didn't want to go out with any musicians. So I was like, all right, that's cool, you know. But then she said you know, one time she, you know, peed next to Peter Gabriel. And I go, excuse me, what did you do with Peter Gabriel? Like you went out with him? She said, no, I peed next to him. I said, peed, like as in piss? She's like, yeah. But, well, yeah, you know, that's a story for another time. Gotta go. Yeah, I'll talk to you another 12 hours. No. I want to hear the story. But before I tell you this story, for those of you who don't know who Peter Gabriel is, of course, let me go to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, and let's check it out. Peter Brian Gabriel, born February 13th, 1950, is an English musician. He rose to fame as the original leader of the progressive rock band Genesis. After leaving Genesis in 1975, he launched a successful solo career with Salisbury Hill as his first single. His fifth studio album, So, that was released in 1986, is his best-selling release and is certified triple platinum in the UK and 5 times platinum in the US. The album's most successful single Ladies and gentlemen, I completely forgot how kick-ass this music video is and how much I love this fucking song. Yes, the song is called Sledgehammer. Won a record 9 MTV Awards at the 1987 MTV Video Music Awards. And according to a report in 2011, it was MTV's most played music video of all time. What better way to show your respect to Mr. Gabriel by taking a fucking piss next to him? Now, at this point in 2023, now I'm wondering, was she sitting down, taking a piss, or standing up? Now, you have to ask that in this day and age, okay? But she is still a woman, okay? Maybe not the classiest one, but she's still a woman. A woman that has gone out with Ben Johnson and possibly Peter Gabriel. So I'm like, okay, you have to tell me this story. So, I was like, was this recently or, whatever? And, okay, so this was like a while ago. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And then, I'm wondering, like, why are they in the same bathroom? I mean, like today, I don't know, that happens all the time, but, was it like an Ally McBeal bathroom or, she's like, no, it was at the Liberty Grand. I'm like, Liberty Grand, what the fuck is that? So it sounds classy. And it is. I Googled it. It says Liberty Grand Entertainment Complex. And this is an event venue in Toronto, Ontario, exhibition place. Okay, so there you go. For those of you who don't know, that means it's a classy place. It's close to medieval times there. I almost worked there as a security guard without a license. That's a story for another time. But she said she was singing a tribute to him, and her group, went off stage. By the way, I'm just assuming, and I'm pretty sure everybody can assume at this point that she's by far the leader in the group. She is the Beyonce. And now she just went off the stage there into the women's change room there. Obviously, it's got a bathroom there. And I don't know, she's still in there, doing her business. And her group, her members there, already left. And she, heard Mr. Gabriel come in there, with, the bodyguard. And it was funny, like she tried to do like his voice, like, oh, okay, I'll just go in there. I thought that was cute. But I'll go in there. And he, I guess, it was close to the stage, whatever, right? And he went in there, took a piss there, I guess in the next stall, I guess. So then she finished first there. I don't know, I don't think it was a race. And then she was, washing her hands. And then afterwards, he was done. He was washing his hands. So they're both washing their hands at the same time, and he's like, "Oh, great concert." And she's like, "Yeah, I shake your hand, but I'm still washing my hands." And that's it. He left, and she finished washing her hands, and that's it. Yeah, I thought it was going to be more weirder than that too. But hey, man, you gotta go. You gotta go. Usually, you hear when rock stars are in women's bathrooms, they're doing other shit, but involving their sledgehammers. But that's it. And I asked her, like, afterwards, did you get an autograph? She's like, no, I'm not one of those people. When I met Muhammad Ali, I'm just not one of those people. Wait, you went out with Muhammad Ali?
Holy shit!
I didn't say that. Well, what exactly are you saying? And then she said she actually sang for Muhammad Ali. So let's play catch up here. She went out with Ben Johnson, possibly went out with Gabriel, and possibly went out with the best boxer of all time. Again, I just want to throw the disclaimer out here. The opinions and expressions of this program are just for entertainment purposes only. If Kanye says some crazy shit, that's we're not responsible for that. If any of these stories are actually true, blah 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 blah, I have no fucking idea. We're just saying this for entertainment. It may or may not be true. Blah 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 blah. So I asked her. I said, like, when did this happen? And she said during a game opener for the Toronto Argos. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was younger, okay, I didn't go to a lot of Argos games. Even when I was older, I didn't go to a lot of Argo games. I'm not a big football guy. I'm not going to lie, okay? But it was pretty cool going to a season opener of a CFL game. And the Toronto Argos are our football team for the CFL. And yes, that one time when South Park made fun of the CFL, the Saskatchewan Roughriders versus the Ottawa Roughriders, yes, at one point we had two teams with the same fucking names. I mean, there's only 12 teams in the league. And yeah, that actually, I swear to God, I actually had to Google that myself. I thought those guys were just making fun of us, and I don't care, because our our necks always snap back and forth when we're talking, and we fucking do love craft dinner. I'm not gonna lie. I did hear one time my friend told me that every year, or no, was it every day, that 200,000 boxes of craft dinner are consumed within Canada. So today it's got to be way more. But the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah. The good old Argos. So at one point, John Kennedy, I love that man. Wayne Gretzky, love that man. Did own a part of the Argos at one point during the 90s when they did win. So, but I follow them here and there, whatever. But the only two players I know are Pinball Clemens, which, by the way, at one point that guy did show up to my high school one day, and at one point he went into the crowd and he literally jumped on top of us, literally in our laps, and he just had his hand on his head, and he was just posing. I remember looking at my one buddy, he was shocked, and even afterwards, CFRB 1010 interviewed me for on the radio there. If you're a millennial listening, I'll explain later what a radio is, but it was really cool. And of course, Doug Flutie, okay, Flutie Flakes, who doesn't like those? But both legends to me. But anyways, I was freaking out because I thought to myself, I went to an Argos opener. And I remember distinctively, they gave a huge honor to a certain boxer. And that boxer was Muhammad Ali. And even Lennox Lewis was there, and he made a joke saying, it's good to be number one right now. And then Muhammad Ali was kind of just joking around, kind of shadow boxing him and all that, and just being Muhammad Ali. So it was cool being right there, and we were in the stands, and the banner that they raised went literally right in front of us. So I'm thinking to myself, holy fuck, did she sing at this game? And the answer is yes. Yes, she did. So a future black woman that I was trying to just talked to, was actually there the same time I was there. Is it a coincidence that the first dance my dad ever had was with a black woman? Or he always tells me this story. I mean, he loves telling this story. I don't know. It was the song Mrs. Jones. He always tells me that the black woman just asked him to dance with him. And, does it sound racist as I'm telling all these like black references, or is it just a coincidence? Or I don't know. Am I just stupid or just connecting the dots here? I don't know. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, this is fucking amazing. She was at the same place I was at the exact same time. And she's telling me she was part of the group. She was on the Jumbotron. And she said, yeah, you were the white boy. Funny broad. The guy that's living in your basement and not fucking you agrees with me. Anyways, she said, and I kind of forgot this, she said at one point Muhammad Ali pointed to Lennox Lewis and said, I'm not the greatest boxer anymore. He is. And she said when she saw that and heard that, she started to cry. And one of her friends, who was an Argo girl, which I would love to meet one day, she said she got a picture of her crying. And they showed her on the Jumbotron. So I don't know if she got a picture of her, but like on the Jumbotron, whatever. But yeah, she was on the Jumbotron crying. And yeah, I mean, she had a moment. I was just thinking about, yeah, that's crazy. I was there at the same time she was, and she's like, "Are you having a moment?" I'm like, "Yeah, kinda." And she's like, "Well, like, what's like, what kind of moment are you having? Or like, where are you? And I said, I'm in the bathroom." And she's like, "Oh, you're having one of those moments." I'm like, yeah. I'm pissing next to Phil Collins. Do you remember? Now, at this point, I actually am washing my hands because I just took a piss. I don't have to shake anybody's hand after. And, she's like talking about live event, and that's why she was there. Not live event. I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, she's a very interesting person. And, I told her that, and, she's lived a cool life. And, there's a reason why you're in an open relationship, because nobody can hold you down. What? I'm kidding. But yeah, it's a pretty crazy story. And again, ladies and gentlemen, you never know what's going to happen when you're, trying online dating. It gets to be pretty crazy. But have your guard up. Not everybody will give you a kick-ass story like this. I just can't believe, she went out with, Ben Johnson, possibly Mr. Gabriel, possibly Muhammad Ali, and, I with her and Lennox Lewis, who the fuck knows? But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, you never know what's going to happen with Computer Love, Part 15.
Today on our show we have Ben Johnson. How are you, Ben? Put your cards on the table. Ben, when you run, do you cheat up?
Absolutely. I cheat up all the time.
Cheetah Power Surge Energy Drink, an all-natural source of energy without caffeine.